Joining us in the Arutz Sheva studio in Jerusalem is Nir Barkat, Knesset member from the Likud and former mayor of Jerusalem. Shalom.
Shalom, Yoni. How are you?
First of all, you're here in our new Arutz Sheva
Jerusalem
studio as the mayor, the former mayor of Jerusalem. How do you feel? What are your, first of all, few words of congratulations?
Yeah, well, I love Arutz Sheva, and I wish you lots of success. Thank God you chose Jerusalem as your home base.
Very natural.
Well, people didn't do that in the past, and I'm very, very happy and honored to be here as your guest.
So tell us what's going on with you now in these days of campaign. What is your main message that you're trying to tell people? Likud is the right way to go, because we see that there are many parties from the right.
Well, if you look at the macro picture, there are three alternatives. The first, and which is the recommended one, is once we pass 61 mandates, we could form a right-wing government to focus on the challenges that we have on the right, which is how to work with the American administration, how to support and strengthen and grow the Hityashvut in Judea and Samaria, how to reform some of the systems in our country, mainly the legal system. And there's many, many ideas that we want to develop. The economy. We have to boost our economy. And there's no one better than the Likud and Netanyahu to lead that process at a homogeneous right-of-center coalition. It's possible. That's option one. The other extreme is, God forbid, if we cannot reach 61, that Lapid and Meretz and Labor, with the support of the Meshutefet, with Bennett and Gideon Sa'ar, will form a government. That's not a right-wing government. And that's a government where the right-of-center folks will be a third of the coalition. They will not be able to do anything that we believe in on the right-of-center. So God forbid, if this happens, we will have a government that moves to the left, or at least will not be able to support the Hityashvut, will, I'm sure, stutter and with respect to the Palestinian Authority, and I'm really concerned about that option.
Now, you mentioned the United States of America. Are you concerned, or maybe even already saying things that are problematic in terms of the policies towards Israel, towards building in Jerusalem and in Judea and Samaria?
Well, when I was mayor in 2008, for a decade, it was practically the same time that Obama served as President of the United States and Netanyahu as Prime Minister of Israel. It was really tough. It was very tough for us to build, and Netanyahu maneuvered very wisely. We did grow, not at the rate we wanted, but we worked with the American administration, which is the best strategic partner Israel has. Then we had we had Trump. And with the Trump administration, we were able to execute many, many things, moving the embassy, recognizing in Ramat.
Some would say too good to be true.
Almost. I mean, I'm still pinching myself that we were able to get such accomplishments. And thanks to President Trump for his help and support. We're able to create the peace accord, the Abraham Accord, with 4 Muslim Arab nations, countries, which is a phenomenal accomplishment. Now, I think that the new administration is not going to be Obama, and unfortunately, probably not going to be Trump. We'll have to reason with them and figure out how we maintain the pressure on Iran, that they will never have atomic bombs. We will strengthen the Abraham Accord. We have to see how we work with vis-a-vis the Palestinian Authority and the threats and the challenges we have from Gaza.
When it comes to building, do we really have to ask the Americans, when you look at the big picture, the macro picture, do you really think that it's important for Israel to say, okay, we won't build here, we won't build in this neighborhood? As you said, you have experience of America saying no, no.
I think that the Israeli strategy, Netanyahu's strategy, and prior, all throughout the existence of Israel, is always to look at the Americans as the best strategic partner we have. You don't want to lose their veto in the United Nations. You don't want to lose their trust. There's a lot of common denominator. We'll have to find a way to work with the Americans, even if it means here and there that we'll have to make some sacrifices to our strategy. But our experience says that it's not black and white. There's lots of gray, and I know nobody better than Netanyahu how to maneuver and to work with the American administration to accomplish our goals. It's possible. We've done that before. Nobody could do that better than Netanyahu.
Let's end with politics. Let's go back to politics. You mentioned Netanyahu. You're here praising him and calling for people to vote for the Likud, led by Netanyahu. But the day after Netanyahu, will we see you running for the head of the Likud, maybe even the next prime minister?
Well, I'm a big supporter of Netanyahu, and I stand on his right. And I will not challenge Netanyahu. The day he decides to move to the next chapter in his life, there's naturally going to be elections. I will both run and believe I will win.
For the leader of the Likud?
Yes.
Okay, Nir Barkat, Knesset member Nir Barkat, former mayor of Jerusalem, thank you very much for joining us.
My pleasure.